It's clear from my first look at the report, it's clear the Tories have not been getting a fair share for Albertans. The Tories have failed the people of Alberta, and they have failed them badly. And they have been failing them for years. And given the fact that they've done a number of internal reviews, they've probably known they've been failing the people of Alberta for years. Billions and billions of dollars have been missed by the Alberta Treasury because of the Tories' failure. I am concerned about the impact of this 4-week delay on the markets. I think that dithering by this government and prolonging this process could really put the markets, the energy markets, into some turmoil. If Alberta's finance minister is saying publicly that he's nervous, imagine how that makes the markets feel. I just have to wonder if these guys actually know, frankly, if they know what they're doing, the way they're handling this, because this is untold tens and tens of billions of dollars of investment at stake, and the way they're handling it just makes me think that they don't really appreciate what's going on there. This government has a track record of avoiding accountability. They do whatever they can, whether it's healthcare, environment, education, or energy, to set up structures that avoid or dodge political accountability for decisions. I'll have to go through the detailed report and see exactly what they're recommending. In terms of keeping bitumen processing in Alberta, I think what we really need is a plan. I mean, clearly we want to keep bitumen processing in Alberta as much as we can accommodate here. I rolled out a plan last week that recognizes that there are limits to how much bitumen we should and want to upgrade in Alberta, and that we should be looking at other provinces for carrying some of that capacity instead of just shrugging our shoulders and letting it go to the U.S.
How worried should the government be as to driving out oil sands development, as many industry executives have warned?
Well, you know, it's an issue. The phrase everybody uses is you don't want to kill the golden goose, but it's very clear from this evidence, and it's been clear for quite some time. Hugh has dug up all kinds of evidence that, you know, when oil is at $80 a barrel, there's a lot of room for us to get a fairer share, a larger share than what we're getting. The oil sands, in particular in Alberta in general, remain one of the few really attractive open markets for private energy investment in the world anymore. I mean, world markets for private energy investment in the petroleum industry are shrinking, and Alberta remains one of the most secure, available, marketable sources for petroleum resources.
Why don't you tell us about the report?
Well, Neil, as I told you, Neil, the government wouldn't share the report with us until 3 o'clock, and so we walked in, and I was able to flip through a couple of pages from one of the reporters. Well, first pages of the report indicate that we have not, as a province, been getting our fair share, and we have not been getting a fair share for some years.
Taft, when you hear that they're not collecting up in royalties, do you think that's just their net, or is it something more sinister, or what's at play here when you hear that the government's not getting what the Albertans deserve?
Well, it's pretty obvious this government is inept. Does it go beyond that? I don't know, Catherine. I don't know. I'm not prepared to speculate right now that there's some conspiracy. I think this is a government that fell asleep at the switch a long time ago on just about every issue you can imagine. Right now, none of us have any way of predicting what this government is going to do. And I think it's that sheer uncertainty that's a real problem. It's a problem for the citizens of Alberta. It's a problem for the markets. I want to see this government move along thoughtfully, but move along quickly. The average Albertan at Tim Hortons has been of the view for some years that royalties are too low. It looks like the average Albertan at Tim Hortons has been several steps ahead of this government for a long time.
Whenever we did the initial report to change the royalty structure on the oil sands in 1995, one of the recommendations was to do a review every 5 years to see if the royalty structure matched the current market conditions. As Kevin said, this government has been very neglectful, and I don't want him drinking out of that water glass. He might get what they got. But we have to review this periodically because the oil and gas industry changes, the markets change, and that was not done. This royalty regime may have been suitable in 1996 and then in 1992, whenever the last time conventional oil and gas was reviewed by Mr. Orman and Don Getty, but the market conditions have changed significantly. It may have worked whenever prices were low, but now that oil is at $80 a barrel, we have to have a look at this. And there's no doubt, regardless of whether you read Pedro Van Meer's stuff or the government's own internal reports, we have lost significant money that we can never, ever get back, because this government was asleep at the switch whenever they should have been reviewing this and upping the royalties as the price went up.
We're very focused on building a future for this province, and we've got clear plans. We know what we would do on funding Alberta's future, on non-renewable resource revenues, on a whole range of issues. There's an incredibly bright future for this province long term if we have a government that makes these decisions properly. We're seeing right now the melting down of a government that doesn't know how to make decisions properly.